Beach.
Oh yeah!
Camping.
Oh yeah!
Swimming.
Oh yeah!
Summer is awesome.
Mosquitoes,
Oh no!
tropical nights,
Oh no!
food poisoning.
Oh no!
Summer is awful.
But you know, you can always prevent food poisoning.
Oh, really?
Of course. I'll tell you. Follow me, okay? First, wash your hands, utensils, and food surfaces often. Second, cook and store your food at safe temperatures and always use clean water. Third, defrost food safely. The best way to do it is in the refrigerator. Fourth, keep raw food separate from ready-to-eat food to prevent cross-contamination. Last but not least, always remember that eating safely is the best way to enjoy your meal. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
We are the Zero Waste Rangers.
To save Mother Earth, just remember the 5 R's. Would you like a bag for that?
No thanks. I brought my own bag. Number 1, refuse. Just say no to things you do not need.
This shirt is so out of style.
Why not take it to a flea market? Number 2, reduce. Buy only what you need and share with your neighbors.
1 iced Americano coming right up.
Can I get that in my tumbler? Number 3, reuse. Single use, that's not how we do things.
This is such a hassle. Let's just throw it all in together.
You've got to peel off the labels and rinse them out. Number 4, recycle. Rinse it, peel it, and recycle properly.
This looks different from other sponges.
It's a biodegradable loofah. Number 5, rot. Choose a product that returns to nature.
Refuse, reduce,
Reuse, recycle,
and rot. The 5R pledge to protect our planet.
Want to be a friend of BFM 부산영어방송? You can chat with BFM through our Kakao Talk service. You can share your messages and photos through Kakao Talk, and you can easily become BFM's Kakao friend by searching BFM through the Find a Friend option. Come share and chat with us at BFM anytime, anywhere for free. Don't forget to add BFM 부산영어방송 to your Kakao friends list.
AI는 무엇이든 척척 만들잖아요. 그런데 AI가 되살릴 수 없는 소리도 있대요. 사라지면 다시 살릴 수 없는 대한민국의 푸른 자연을 지켜주세요. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Wavers, I hope your long weekend was a good one. Whatever you did, though, it was probably impossible to avoid the rain, especially if you were in the Busan area. Torrential rain hit the southeastern area through yesterday, even into this morning, obviously, triggering floods and landslides after weeks of drought leading to casualties. Geoje and Tongyang recorded record high hourly rainfall. We're talking ever recorded, respectively. And we'll get into details of everything that happened over the long weekend. But most importantly, I hope you and your loved ones are all okay. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Tuesday, August 18th on BEFM, 부산영어방송. Good morning, listeners, wavers out there. Yes, we are back live today on this Tuesday morning and I have to say, it is still raining. And with everything that went on over the weekend with the torrential rain, we're going to cover all of that. But I do want to know from you, and this is our text topic, how your long weekend went. How was it? What did you do? 자, 여러분의 연휴 어떠셨는지 너무 궁금합니다. We're so curious. So we want to hear all about what you did over the weekend, whether you were one with your sofa. That's okay. I was one of those people. I just rested all weekend long. Some of you probably were trying to squeeze in last-minute trips, but I know with the weather, a lot of people have suffered as well. But whatever you did, we want to hear about it. So send in your messages to BFM's live stream, live chat on NoTube. Go to the platform, type in BEFM or 부산영어방송 to find our channel. Subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free on Kakao Talk as well. You got to find our account first. So you can search for BEFM, 부산영어방송, add us as a friend, and then send in your messages. So the ways you can tune into our program, if you're in the Busan area, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, that's on the radio. We are streaming on NoTube right now. As we speak, come check us out. And we're available on the BEFM app, Papang app as well. Both are free and easy to download. So here's a lineup for today. And we have Haley for top stories in hour number 1, Waggle Waggle Tea Time. That's in hour number 2. And for today, Wave Sports, Yoo Ji-ho from Yeonap Sports is joining us as Andrew is away. We have Hand for Trend Whisper. That's coming up in hour number 2. For our special interview today, many of you may have seen the film The Odyssey, right? Major blockbuster, huge hit all over the world. And what about The Odyssey, that story, still captivates us? That's a question that we're going to ask our expert coming up in hour number 2. In the meantime, let's get to Now in Busan. This is Now in Busan, our local news segment. First up, we got to talk about the damages reported in Busan from the heavy rain and winds. Busan City saw multiple reports of damages from the weekend's heavy rain and strong winds, with the Busan fire authorities reporting 24 people who had to evacuate as 2 empty homes in the city collapsed. And that was in Yeongdo-gu and Seogu districts. No human casualties have been reported. The city reported 276.5 millimeters of rain in Gangseogu district yesterday, which recorded a cumulative rainfall of 395.9 millimeters. That's across 2 days. And on Gadokdo, 460.5 millimeters. So we're talking about an awful lot of rain. Moving on, let's talk about Haeundae. Haeundae is seeking to be a smart residential tourism city. So Haeundae Tourism, a special district, has been picked as the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism's national project, Global Tourism Special District Project. And it's going to receive a total of 6 billion won in funding across 2 years. The 6.2 square kilometer area encompassing Haeundae, Songjang, all the way to Bexco and Dalmaji Hill will seek to provide tourism content and smart services under the theme of day and night, work and rest. Yes, next up, let's talk about safety advice for Busan's 10 unofficial beaches. So a man in his 20s fell and was stranded at Taejongdae in Yeongdo earlier this month when he stepped down the rocky beach. And this is one of the 10 unofficial beaches. So we're talking about 비지정 해변, which also includes 이기대, 오륙도, 모룬대, also 청사포 and 태종대. So these unofficial beaches do not have safety personnel at the ready and can be dangerous, even fatal in the case of accidents, with 7 deaths across these 10 beaches since 2019. The Coast Guard has advised caution for anyone around these areas. And lastly, let's talk about Daejeon Eco Park to vastly expand its park golf facilities. And we all know that park golf is really popular these days. Gangseogu District has announced that it will add 18 additional holes to the Daejeon Ecological Park's park golf facilities, turning it into a 108-hole facility. It's expected to be the biggest in the region. The district said it is putting in 1.15 billion won to add shades, chairs, fences, and lawn protective mats, among other things. An official from the district said that they will accommodate the expanding demand in park golf amid the increasing popularity of this sport. And this was Now in Busan. All right, here's the first song break. This is 잠 못 드는 밤 비는 내리고 by 김건모.
마음만 우적한 마음을 달랠 수가 없네 잠도 오지 않는 밤에 이젠 나의 희미한 기억 속에 너는 점점 더 멀어져가고 너의 슬픈 미소만이 나의 마음속에 가득 남아 흐르고 있어 이렇게 비가 오는 밤이면 너는 나를 더욱 슬퍼지게 해 언제나 즐겨 듣던 그 노래가 내 귓가에 아직 남아있는데 이렇게 비가 오는 밤이면 내 지친 그리움으로 널 만나고 이 비가 그치고 나면 난 너를 찾아 떠나갈 거야 슬픈 노래는 듣고 싶지 않아 내 맘속에 잠들어 있는 네가 다시 나를 찾아와 나는 긴긴 밤을 잠 못 들 것 같아 창밖에 비가 내리면 우두커니 창가에 기대려 앉아 기타를 튕기며 노래를 불렀지 네가 즐겨 듣던 그 노래 두 눈을 감고 잠을 청해도 비 오는 소리만 처량해 비 오는 소리에 내 마음 젖었네 잠도 오지 않는 밤에 이젠 나의 희미한 기억 속에 너는 점점 더 멀어져 가고 너의 슬픈 미소만이 나의 마음속에 가득 남아 흐르고 있어 이렇게 비가 오는 밤이면 너는 나를 더욱 슬퍼지게 해 언제나 즐겨 듣던 그 노래가 내 귓가에 아직 남아있는데 이렇게 비가 오는 밤이면 내 지친 그리움으로 널 만나고 이
Here's your traffic report. It is congested right now on Gwanmun-daero from Bangeum Tunnel to Baegang Tunnel. It's busy on Nakdong-Namno from Gangso Police Station to Seongsan three-way intersection. It's also busy on the Dongso overpass from Hwangryong Ramp to Daegum. And it's congested on Byeongno coming into the city right around the Wondong Ramp. So obviously it is raining, so that means you might want to leave a little early today. It is currently 25 degrees Celsius here in Busan. It is raining. The daytime high will go up to 30. Busan City is under a heat wave impact forecast. Across the nation, rain in parts of Busan, Gyeongnam, and Cheonnam across the morning, with showers forecast for Gyeonggi, Gangwon, and Chungcheong in the afternoon. Landslide alerts in Tongyang and other parts of Gyeongnam as well as Cheonnam. Let's be careful today. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for the morning brief. One dead as Geoje sees nearly 640 millimeters of rain in one day. The city of Geoje in Gyeongnam Province saw a record 638.7 millimeters of rain in one day yesterday, with one person dead from a landslide triggered by the torrential rain. Ex-Prime Minister Kim Min-seok wins DP chairmanship. Former Prime Minister Kim Min-seok was elected the new leader of the ruling Democratic Party, or DP, yesterday, with 54.08% of the votes defeating Jung Cheong-lee and Song Yeong-gil. Trump says North Korea's Kim has responded to his call for dialogue. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has responded to his overture for dialogue a day after he unveiled his order to substantially reduce South Korea-U.S. military exercises in what was seen as a conciliatory gesture toward Pyongyang. South Korea and U.S. kick off Ulji Freedom Shield exercise. South Korea and the United States kicked off their key summertime combined exercise yesterday to run through August 27th, with Seoul seeking to use the drills to accelerate efforts to regain wartime operational command known as OPCON from Washington. Death toll from Indonesia earthquake reaches 68. Rescue efforts are ongoing following a magnitude 7.7 earthquake that struck eastern Indonesia on Saturday local time, with at least 68 people dead and 213 injured as of broadcast time. This was the morning brief. It is now time for Top Stories. You're listening to our number one of Morning Wave in Busan. We're joined by Haley for Top Stories. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. We had quite the rainy weekend to the point that there were casualties and multiple cases of property damage, right?
Right, so let's go to this heavy rain that's been plummeting the Gyeongnam region over the weekend. So of course, on the one hand, it is a welcome relief for the drought-hit region, but it did cause significant damage. So going to the southern coast of Gyeongnam, it saw record levels of rain. According to the Korea Meteorological Administration, the city of Geoje got hit with 124.5 millimeters of rain in 1 hour. That came from 1:32 in the morning on Monday, yesterday. So this is actually an hourly record for the city since record-taking began in 1972. Its neighboring Tongyang also saw its hourly rain record broken at 97.4 millimeters per hour. That took place at 5:11 in the morning. So overall, Geoje's accumulated rainfall between August 15th to 4 p.m. yesterday came to 907 millimeters. For Tongyang in the same period, 745 millimeters. And as you said, Koze saw 600 millimeters of rain yesterday alone.
Right.
And this unfortunately triggered a landslide. Now we're going to the casualties. This happened at 4:42 in the morning in Okpodong. It swallowed a nearby apartment and the resident on the first floor died. 2 others were minorly injured. Similar cases in Tongyang where a resident had to be rescued the same morning when their legs were buried in the silt in a landslide.
Right.
Overall, 165 people evacuated across Koze, Tongyang, and Sacheon, and 99 are still outside of their homes.
Right, and so unfortunate, of course. Multiple cases of property damage were also reported.
Because here's the thing, the level that we're looking at is 100 millimeters of rain per hour. When the rain is that hard, when it's raining that hard, the strong flow or surge of water actually can lead to cars just floating in the water. It lifts cars up from the ground.
Right.
And most buildings get submerged on the first floor. Sure. The National Fire Agency issued a nationwide mobilization order to handle these reports that are pouring in. And the authorities say that given the extent, the degree of the rain right now, the number and the scale of the damages will likely increase. Not just flood damage, but windows just flat out shattering because of the heavy rain. Also, pavement torn from the surge of water.
Indeed. Okay, so that's, of course, we talked about the casualties, the damage, but did the rain at least provide relief for the drought?
Of course, it did. However, for the Daegu and Gyeongbuk regions, it apparently wasn't enough to fully relieve the drought because the rain has been to different levels depending on where you are. So according to the nationwide drought portal, Daegu is still under at least parts in drought conditions, and major dams and reservoirs didn't show much of a difference in the water levels.
Indeed. And so, of course, that was our top story, the rain and the damage, of course, the casualties. Up next, let's talk about the ruling Democratic Party. They have a new leader.
They do. So as of yesterday, former Prime Minister Kim Min-seok is the new leader, having beat former Chair Jung Cheong-rae and Song Yong-gil. So Kim won, as you said, with 54.08% of the votes at the National Convention in Daejeon yesterday. He did have to go off to a runoff vote because he couldn't secure the majority in round 1. And his rival Jung Cheong-rae took 45.92% of the votes.
Yes.
However, throughout the entire race, Kim had maintained an upper hand, although a narrow one, throughout the race as the prominent pro-presidential figure. Of course, he just resigned from being the administration's first prime minister.
Yes, and what do we know about the new DP leader?
So he is a seasoned politician, although there was a significant gap. He's a fourth-term lawmaker and a leading figure in the 8-6 pro-democracy movement group. So he was actually a star going into politics as he was the youngest lawmaker at the time when he entered Yeouido in his 20s. However, he left the Democratic Party and spent time away from politics before returning in 2020. And since then has maintained a fairly high profile. Of course, checked off major boxes of being the prime minister, also now the party leader, quickly ascending into a potentially presidential candidate.
Well, let's talk about what he needs to do as the party's new leader.
Right, of course, the presidential race is a few years in the future, but for now, the big task is to lead the Democratic Party through the election, starting with the by-election for a Gangneung lawmaker position next April. Of course, the big one will be the parliamentary election or the general election scheduled for 2028. Then leading up to the 2030 presidential election.
Yes.
And on a minor political scale, this win comes as the Lee Jae-myung administration's approval rating fell to more negatives than there being positives for the first time.
Yes.
And the party itself faces extreme split that it's experienced during the race. But Kim has, persistently emphasized his pro-E position, saying that he will fully support the president's governance as the new party leader.
Yes, yes. Well, we're going to go to the president himself, who has floated the possibility of even shortening his own presidential term for reforms.
Right, so this comment came on social media where President Lee Jae-myung said that his official position has always been to change the presidential system to a 4-year term with the possibility of a second term. And that is to make politics and political decisions more responsible. And Lee stated that if this should call for shortening his own presidential term, that he is willing to accept that.
Okay.
And this is actually the very first time that the president mentioned the possibility of giving up a part of his term. And that's definitely got the ball rolling on reform discussions.
Right. Well, let's go over the key aspects of the possible reforms.
All right, so this is a little bit of political theory. The key is to how to implement the two-term limit. Well, whether this will be a consecutive term limit, 연임제, versus a non-consecutive or 중임제.
Okay.
So a consecutive term allows for the president to serve 2 terms only if he or she has been elected immediately following their term. So they cannot take a break. 중임제 does not have such limits, non-consecutive. So if you take a look at U.S. President Donald Trump, he is serving a non-consecutive second term. So this individual can run and be elected regardless of when their last term was.
Yes.
So for the current president, President Lee Jae-myung, it will be impossible for him to renew his term and run for re-election, as that is banned by the Korean Constitution under Article 128, Section 2.
Right. So thanks for clarifying. What's another issue that's up for debate, though?
Also, then, by how much the president will shorten his term if he chooses to do that.
Okay.
Because this is more of a logistical issue to match the presidential, general, and local election schedule. So the next scheduled general election, as I mentioned, is in 2028, April of 2028. The next presidential election set for March of 2030. So if these two were to take place together, then President Lee would need to shorten his term to 3 years from the current 5. So not even the 4 that would be under the new, if it goes to plan, reform system.
Okay.
So the next election could take place together, presidential and general, for April of 2028. Another issue would be the separation of presidential powers to the parliament, including the right to oversee audits, nominating the prime minister, and some personal appointment rights.
Well, what is the likelihood of this reform happening?
Well, the Democratic Party is on board more or less, but the biggest obstacle would be the opposition People Power Party, or the PPP.
Okay.
Because constitutional amendments or revisions, 개헌, that requires a 2/3 majority by the National Assembly. The Democratic Party, of course, has a majority, a simple majority, and with the PAN ruling party, they have enough votes to usually overturn filibusters, but definitely not 2/3, so they would need cooperation from the PPP.
Yes.
As for the opposition party, they are urging the president to first declare that he won't seek a second term before any discussions of reform can start.
I see. We're going to leave that discussion there for now. Well, over the long weekend, we heard that the country's top trade negotiator was let go.
Right, so this was a sudden decision. Minister for Trade, Han-gu, was dismissed from his job as of midnight on August 15th, with the decision coming from President Lee Jae-myung. So this is what's called an ex officio dismissal, which is a universal dismissal. It is quite rare for a public official to be let go of his or her position in such a way.
Yes.
The Ministry of Trade did not disclose the reason why, saying that this is a right of the president and a policy decision, and it would be inappropriate for the ministry to comment or mention the background.
Well, everybody's wondering, though, how will this affect the ongoing trade situation with the U.S.?
Right, so the timing is conspicuous because this is a point where normally stability in personnel would be kind of the norm.
Yes.
So it is conspicuous because the dismissal comes as the country is facing a series of U.S. trade-related issues.
Indeed.
Number one, there is the ongoing Section 301 investigation. Also, the pressure coming from some U.S. lawmakers on the coupon issue.
Right.
There's been speculation ranging from whether this dismissal was because the president was unhappy with the U.S. trade issues to personal issues. However, Han-gu said that none of the speculations are true and that he will consider legal action against malicious or extreme claims. But whatever the reason may be, this sudden vacancy in the top trade negotiator position will likely cause some setbacks in the ongoing U.S. trade talks. But the ministry said that it is running an emergency system under the Vice Trade Minister Park Jong-sung to minimize this gap.
Yes, so we'll, of course, follow that story. Moving on, the country is relaunching a committee that would seek to seize assets gained by pro-Japanese collaborators.
The official name is the Korea Investigative Commission on Pro-Japanese Collaborators' Property. They will restart operations this coming December, and they'll be looking at ways to seize assets illegally amassed by these individuals during Japan's occupation period of Korea. So this actually comes 16 years after the committee ended its previous activities. This law targets wealth and property accumulated through cooperation with Japanese imperial forces during the 1910 to 1945 colonial period.
Right, and this comes amid the recent controversy regarding, we talked about this story, Hayoung.
Right, so the actress. So this renewed asset search is underscored by the stark, enduring socioeconomic divide because, I think the Hayoung case triggered this larger story, but it comes to the background of the Korea showing nearly 3/4 of descendants of independent activists, 독립운동가, living in relative poverty, in low-income welfare, while the others, kind of the pro-Japanese figures, at least the ones that are more high-profile, they're living in fairly wealthy, comfortable conditions.
Right.
So special legislation was enacted to address a legal void after the first investigative commission was disbanded in 2010, 16 years ago, just 4 years after its establishment, leaving the country without a former investigative body to trace its illicitly undisclosed assets.
Right. So what does the new law involve?
Right. So the new law explicitly allows the government to claw back proceeds even if the descendants of the 친일파 collaborators have already sold the property. So this is important. The act also introduces monetary reward provisions to citizens to identify and report these assets. It's a legislative milestone that comes amid, again, as I said, the broader cultural shift in Korea, especially amongst younger people. Those in their 20s and 30s are increasingly tracing their lineage. There's been this app or a site that's been circulating, especially over the weekend, where you enter in your family name and the origin, and it'll tell you whether there are any reported or confirmed independence fighters versus collaborators.
Interesting. All right, we're going to move to our next story. This is regarding the U.S. President Donald Trump saying that he has ordered for the U.S. to scale back on military drills with Seoul, which I, of course, mentioned during...
You did.
Yes.
So let's go into more detail. President Donald Trump said on Sunday local time that he has instructed the Pentagon and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to substantially scale back on the joint South Korea-U.S. military exercises. These are, of course, the Ulji Freedom Shield exercises.
Yes.
The comment came on social media where he also said that the exercises are not only costly or expensive to the U.S., but they send a, quote, totally inappropriate and hostile signal to North Korea.
Interesting. But as you said, a major motive seems to be North Korea.
Right. So this seems to be President Trump's next diplomatic push, at least for now, because he wrote that based on his very good relationship with Kim Jong-un, he's not happy with the fact that the U.S. has long ago agreed to participate in the joint military exercises with South Korea, again saying that it sends an appropriate message. And he stated that for at least the period while he's been president, North Korea has been unthreatening and respectful. And then it was followed up by a report in a comment in the Oval Office where he said that he has been speaking to Chairman Kim Jong-un.
Yes. Okay. Well, staying on the topic of the U.S., President Trump declared that the Strait of Hormuz will become U.S. territory.
Right. President Donald Trump told supporters during an event that the U.S. would soon claim the Strait of Hormuz as American territory. Well, Iran has fired back, saying that these threats are, quote, nonsense. And the strait is, of course, critical for global oil, where 20% of crude global oil supply runs through this waterway. But the strait has been the site of renewed fighting in recent months because in June, the U.S. and Iran signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or the MOU, to bring a stop to military operations, with Strait of Hormuz situation being in the first phase. However, that MOU actually runs out Sunday local time, so basically any minute now. And there's been ongoing discussions between Iran and Oman, U.S. and Oman, U.S. and Iran to figure out how to manage maritime traffic in the strait.
Yes, but to that end, I hear that Trump also threatened Oman.
Right, so that is the latest on this front because the U.S. and Oman, they've been negotiating separately with Tehran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
And earlier in the day, Iranian officials said that they were close to finalizing a deal with Oman. However, President Trump has threatened to bomb Oman, which, by the way, is a U.S. ally, if it gets in the way of his administration's own talks with Iran.
Okay, well, we're going to call it a wrap on all the top stories. A lot to unfold. Thank you for going over the details. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
All right, we need a little breather. This is Photographed by Ed Sheeran.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know.
1, 2, 3.
When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet, and you won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal. Loving can mend your soul. And it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts were never broken, time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 Oh, you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home.
Welcome back, everybody. It's now time to connect with Jiho for Wave Sports. Let's see if he's here. Hi, Jiho. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Yes, so everybody, this is Yoo Ji-ho from Yeonap, and he's filling in for Andrew. I have to ask you first, though, what did you do over the weekend? How did you spend the long weekend?
Yeah, so I had to work on Sunday. And I'm mostly a homebody, so I, mostly stayed home.
Yes.
And I finished the book, actually.
Oh, you did?
I don't know if I did. I finished a book called Excavations by Hannah Mitchell.
Ooh, and
it's
would
Korean,
you recommend it?
I would. It was a great book. I know we don't have much time to get into the book, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm not going to spoil it for any reader, but anybody out there. But it was a great book. I was able to finish it over the long weekend.
Oh, I'm glad you had the chance to do so because, summer reads, those are the best. Well, we are going to dive into some sports. We're going to begin with baseball because every team in the KBO League has now played at least 100 games. And we're seeing more separation between the top 5 versus the bottom 5 in the standings. So give us the latest in the pennant race.
Yeah, so the TUES remain in first place in the KBO League. The Samsung Lions right behind them, just one game back. Thanks to their 3-game winning streak. The LG Twins, they're in danger of falling to 4th place. Not that long ago, they were in top,
Right.
but now they're in 3rd, closer to 4th and 5th than they're to 2nd and actually 1st place. So Kia Tigers, they're 1 game back, and the Busan Bears 1.5 games back. And with the Bears holding on to the 5th and the final postseason spot, there's a bit of a gap between them and the 6th place Hanwha Eagles. 6 games between those two teams. So the teams ranked from 6th to 8th, they're separated by 3 games, NC Dinos and the Lotte Giants. And the time's running out, I think, for these teams to make up ground. And SSG Landers and the Kium Heroes, they are bringing up the rear right now. Likely won't come close to reaching the postseason at this point.
Right. So I hate to use this term, but the 2 bottom feeders they're going to try to play spoiler down the stretch against contending teams. And the Landers, they have a couple of big series coming up in the next 2 weeks, right? And this week.
Yeah, so they visit the Samsung Lions for 3 games in Daegu, and then they're going to host the KTWs for 3 games in Incheon. So 6 games against the 2 best teams in the league. And the Landers have a winning record against only 2 opponents this year, and one of them, that's actually the KTWs. 7-5-0, 7 wins in 12 meetings between these 2 teams. But they have struggled against the Lions, just 4 wins in 11 meetings so far. But they are coming off an encouraging week. They defeated the Giants in 2 out of 3. Also won the series over the Twins by winning 2 out of 3 games there. So their first series win over LG since July 2022. So that's a long time ago. But Landers are trying to, kind of make what they can of what has been a really lost season for them.
Yes. And all right. So let's talk about the local Lotte Giants. So what do the Giants have coming up this week?
Yeah, so they host the last place Kium Heroes for 3 games in Sajik, and they travel to Seoul to take on the Bears for 3 more games on the weekend for the weekend series. Realistically, I think the Giants would have to do. I think they're going to do well to try to be the spoiler for contenders at this point. 9 games out of a postseason spot with 39 games to go. I guess mathematically they are alive, but again, I think practically it's going to be a really uphill climb for them to crack the top 5 at this point.
I see. So that is, of course, a realistic look. Well, let's move on to another sport, basketball. Korean men's and women's national teams, they played Japan in a tune-up games over the weekend and ended up losing all 4 games. So these were disappointing results as Korea gears up for the Asian Games. They're coming next month. So we're going to turn to the men's team first.
Yeah, so the men's team, they played the first game on August 15th. Lost 88-68. So 20-point deficit. That's the largest margin of loss to Japan ever. And then the very next day, they lost by an even bigger margin, 95-66 on the 16th. So there are some extenuating circumstances for the Korean team. They were missing some of their best players, including Lee Hyun-jung. We talked about him last week. He's in the U.S. for NBA mini camps. And a couple of other key players from the Korean Basketball League, KBL, they were sidelined with injuries, including the reigning league MVP, Lee Jung-hyun. And Japan, they had a couple of NBA players in their lineup, Rui Hachimura, who actually played only the first game, and he's LA Clippers teammate, Yuki Kawamura. He played both games really good, really, in those 2 games as well. So, Japan, the first game, they opened it with an 11-0 run. And then they scored the first 13 points of the second game. So setting the tone early for Japan, Korea was never really in either of those games. And, they were sloppy with the ball. The defense was porous, and they had really no answer against Japanese barrage in those 2 games.
Unfortunate to hear about. Well, what about the women's side? I hear they were much closer, at least in the second game, than the first game.
Yeah, so they lost the first game on Thursday, 77-59. But on the next day, they lost the second game by 1 point, 78-77. The women's team also, they were without some key players, including their center Park Ji-soo, who is dealing with an ankle injury, and the WNBA player Park Ji-hyun, who's of course playing her season in the U.S.
Yes.
Now, in the second game, Korea really locked things down defensively, made some outside shots, led 22-9 in the first quarter. In the second half, though, some players got into foul trouble. They got hurt. Those that stayed in the game started missing some easy shots. So Korea still had a 77-75 lead late in the game, but Kokoro Tanaka drained the game-winning three-point shot with 0.2 seconds left in the game, with the Japanese victory by 1 point.
I see. So unfortunate. Well, what are some of the takeaways from these matches, though?
Yeah, so members of the women's team said they were pleased with the effort, the bounce-back effort in the second game right after suffering a big loss in the first one. Veteran forward Kang Yi-sul said, Japan, objectively speaking, they're a better team. But even if Korea had all of its best players not available, they're able to put up a good fight in the second game. And she and her teammates gained a lot of confidence from the second game, learn how they should play against Japan if they meet again in the Asian Games. Now, the men's team, on the other hand, like I said, they were not really closing either of those two losses. But head coach Nikolai Marzus said it was a good learning experience for his team. And in the absence of some veterans, young players got their first taste of action against a really strong Japanese team.
All right, we're going to call it a wrap for basketball. Moving on to some soccer or football news, the Korea Football Association, they've announced that it has narrowed down the number of candidates for the interim head coach position, I think down to 5, and then the online interviews, they're going to take place this week, so we need the latest.
Yeah, so the KFA accepted applications for the interim, the caretaker job until last week. And now we've got 5 finalists for the position, all of them believed to be foreign nationals. Per sources, some Korean coaches also applied, but they could not get past the first screening. And Gus Poyet, the Uruguayan coach who led Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors to the K-League 1 title and the Korea Cup title last year, failed to reach the interview stage as well. He had been a candidate for the full-time job 2 years ago when KFA ended up hiring Hong Myung-bo. KFA pretty adamant that they're not going to identify who has reached this stage and who has come up short out of respect for the privacy and also for the sake of fairness of the entire process. The goal is to hire somebody, entirely new staff before the end of this month. Korea will play 6 matches under the temporary head coach and their staff. So Ecuador, September 24th, Uruguay, September 28th, Venezuela, October 2nd, and Uzbekistan, October 6th. Plus, there's another FIFA window for between November 9th and 17th. So Korea will be able to play up to 2 matches then. So in total, 6 matches for the, someone who will come in and try to hold on the fort until Korea hires a full-time boss later this year.
All right, all eyes will be on the KFA, of course. And moving on to some badminton, the World Championships are underway in India, and Korean star An Se-young is pursuing her second career title. So let's get a preview of this tournament.
Sure. Well, An Se-young is world number 1, top seed of the tournament. She won her first world title back in 2023, Olympic gold medal the next year. 2024, they didn't have a world championship because of the Olympics, and she won the Olympic gold medal. And then last year, she set up for bronze medal. This year, she is the favorite. Actually won her first match last night, but she's also recovering from a left foot injury that knocked her out early of the Japan Open last month. So she says she's not completely pain-free, but she's going to be able to play through a little bit of the pain in this tournament. Akane Yamaguchi of Japan has won 3 of the past 4 world titles. She will be number 2 seed, pretty big rival to An Se-young. They could actually meet in the final because they're on the opposite sides of the bracket. Yamaguchi once dominated An Se-young when An Se-young was a little younger, but the tables have turned. An Se-young she's won the past 5 meetings in a row. And we've got a couple of Chinese players who will also contend, Chen Yufei and Wang Ziyi. But An has a 4-match winning streak against Chen, and she's won 12 of the past 13 meetings against Wang Ziyi of China.
Well, thank you for the sports today. Actually, for the entire 5 weeks, we so appreciate coming on air with us and wishing you the very best. Thank you so much, Jiho.
Okay, I've been really enjoyed it here over the past 5 weeks. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye, Jiho. Thank you so much. Once again, this was
Bye-bye.
Wave Sports with Yu Jiho. And we're going to take a little song break. This is Don't You Worry About a Thing by Tori Kelly.
Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Always reaching out in vain, just taking the things not worth having. But don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it They say your style of life's a drag and that you must go other places. Just don't you feel too bad when you get fooled by smiling faces. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it When you get off your trip, don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Come on. Everybody needs a change, a chance to check out the new. You're the only one who sees the changes you take yourself through. Don't you worry about a thing. 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 Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it When you get off your trip, don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing
All right, waivers. It feels like a Monday, but it's actually Tuesday, so it's a good thing, right? Basically, text topic. How did your long weekend go? What did you do? So looking at some of your responses. By the way, Tristmaster sent a message saying, sorry, I missed the KBO news. Does Lotte have a chance? Well, technically they do. Yes, they have a chance, but Jiho mentioned that it is an uphill fight. It's an uphill battle. All right, now to Hwang 작가님, who, by the way, sent us 이행시. 이행시 in English, that's an acrostic poem. You take the first syllable or letter of each word, and then you make a poem. So they write 연휴에 뭐 할까 고민으로 휴대폰 검색하다가 연휴 끝이라고 하네요. And they also mentioned 저는 연휴 동안 서울 출장 다녀왔는데 바다 한 번 못 보고 연휴 끝입니다. Oh no. But at least you were able to kind of work and rest, kind of. I don't know. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. Also, Leah Neem, who says, I took a long nap and spent the long holiday binge watching shows. I have a confession. Leah, of course, separately, but I was doing the exact same thing. I was just binge watching on shows, older shows that have finished, because I am not a good person. I'm not good at waiting. I hate waiting for the weekly episodes, so I usually wait until the show is well into its run or it's completely done. And then I binge watch. So that's what I did this weekend. Other people mentioning that, I think 고수님 was mentioning that he went to 포항 on Saturday. 포항으로 마지막 물놀이를 다녀왔습니다. 물은 여전히 깨끗했고 날씨도 너무 덥지 않아 잘 즐기고 왔어요. So I'm glad you and your family had a really good time in Pohang. All right. In hour number 2, we have our special interview where we're going to find out why we are so fascinated by the story of the Odyssey. But also, I want to give you an update on the rain and flooding going on in Gyeongnam. The Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters said that as of yesterday, 5 p.m., the number of property damage reports has exceeded 2,300. So we have, of course, one person who has been declared dead from a landslide in Koje and 4 people who were injured as well. And this torrential rain is expected to continue into this morning, and even a little bit of rain in such conditions can trigger landslides as the ground is already weakened. So just wanted to give you an update on that. We're going to end it with this song. This is 비와 당신 by Rumblefish. I'll be back at 8.
이젠 당신이 그립지 않죠. 보고 싶은 마음도 없죠. 사랑한 것도 잊혀가나요. 조용하게 할 수 없는 건 그런 내 맘이 비가 오면 눈물이 나요. 아주 오래전 당신 떠나던 그날처럼 이제 괜찮은데 사랑 따윈 쳐버렸는데 바보 같은 난 눈물이 날까. 아련해지는 빛바랜 추억 그 얼마나 사무친 건지 미운 당신은 아직
Hi, Professor. This is Catherine. Can you turn on your mic, please?
Yes. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. Just to let you know, our test call does go out live on YouTube, so give you a heads up.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor and
No
sit a tiny bit away from the camera? Can you sit back a little?
Is this better?
Yes. And then we're going to do an audio check. Can you say 1 to 5?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can we try it without your earbud?
Yeah, sure. I'll switch to my to the computer microphone.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you recite 1 to 5 again? Yes. Can you say something?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. You know what?
Can
This
you
sounds
hear me?
way better. Yes. Can we do it like this?
Yeah, we can do it like this. I think there's maybe some background noise, but it should be fine. As
Right.
long
It
as you
sounds
can hear
really
me,
good right
that's
now.
good.
Yes. It's crystal clear.
Okay.
So
We'll go with
what's
that.
going to happen is at the top of the hour, I have a short news segment. It goes on for 4 minutes, and then it's time for a special interview. So after our test call, if you could mute your mic, our producer through the Zoom chat box, she'll remind you to unmute your mic, and then we'll be good to go.
All right. Sounds great. So let me just mute now and wait.
Actually, our producer is telling us the optics. Is there any way to raise your chair a little bit, or there's the camera? Because can you raise the camera just a little bit? There's a lot of headroom right now. There's not enough.
See if I can do this.
If we can raise it a little.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me see what I can do. Sorry, I'm not in my usual setup. Is this a little better?
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Thank you so much for accommodating us. We
Okay.
appreciate it.
No
Okay,
problem.
so now you can mute, and I'll get to you in about 6 minutes from now. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reuse, recycle,
and rot. The 5R pledge to protect our planet.
아직 어렵게 느껴지는 영어. 아이들 영어는 어떻게 챙기시나요? 부산 영어방송이 준비한 어린이 영어 콘텐츠 세상. BFM 키즈 영상 채널이 여러분을 찾아갑니다. 샘 해밍턴과 윌 벤저스 그리고 모모랜드 낸시가 함께하는 BFM 키즈에서 영어로 듣는 부산 설화와 전래동화, 재밌는 파닉스 영어, 신나는 K-팝 영어까지 만나보세요. 우리 아이의 영어 실력과 창의력을 쑥쑥 키워줄 특별한 어린이 영어 채널 BFM 키즈가 여러분을 기다립니다. 지금 바로 BFM 키즈를 검색하고 구독해주세요.
무엇이든 말하는 대로 만드는 AI의 세상. 하지만 AI로 이 소리를 대신할 수 있을까요? 이토록 푸른 자연의 소리. 우리의 행동으로 대한민국의 푸른 자연을 지켜주세요. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back. This is 8 o'clock Spotlight News. One day as Koje sees nearly 640 millimeters of rain in one day. The city of Koje in Gyeongnam Province saw a record 638.7 millimeters of rain in one day yesterday, with one person dead from a landslide triggered by the torrential rain. The Interior Ministry activated a Level 1 emergency response, the lowest level, at the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters, with Prime Minister Han Sung-suk instructing the authorities to make every effort to rescue stranded residents. President Lee Jae-myung also called for swift measures to minimize damages while offering condolences over the resident's death. Ex-Prime Minister Kim Min-seok wins DP chairmanship. Former Prime Minister Kim Min-seok was elected the new leader of the ruling Democratic Party, or DP, yesterday, with 54.08% of the votes, defeating Chung Cheong-nae and Song Young-gil. In his acceptance speech, Kim said that he will work for the success of President Lee Jae-myung and his administration with a creative, horizontal relationship between the party and the presidential office. The election of the former prime minister as DP chair is widely expected to strengthen the president's grip over the ruling party. Trump says North Korea's Kim has responded to his call for dialogue. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has responded to his overture for dialogue a day after he unveiled his order to substantially reduce South Korea-U.S. military exercises in what was seen as a conciliatory gesture toward Pyongyang. Trump was responding to a reporter's question about why Kim has not responded to his request for talks, although he did not elaborate on when or how the two leaders interacted. The U.S. president described his conversation with Kim as very positive. South Korea and U.S. kick off Ulji Freedom Shield exercise. South Korea and the United States kicked off their key summertime combined exercise yesterday to run until August 27th, with Seoul seeking to use the drills to accelerate efforts to regain Wartime Operational Command, or OPCON, from Washington. The annual Ulti Freedom Shield, or UFS, exercise as South Korea is seeking to retake wartime command from the U.S. before the Lee Jae-myung administration's 5-year term ends in 2030. In the meantime, President Donald Trump said that he has instructed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to substantially scale back military exercises with South Korea. Death toll from Indonesia earthquake reaches 68. Rescue efforts are ongoing following a magnitude 7.7 earthquake that struck eastern Indonesia on Saturday local time. And as of broadcast time, at least 68 people have been reported dead, with 213 injured. Around 13,000 people have been displaced as some 1,500 aftershocks, including a magnitude 5.7 tremor, have struck the island. President Lee Jae-myung yesterday expressed his condolences to the victims and hope for the safe return of those who remain missing. This was Spotlight News. It's time for a special interview on this Tuesday morning. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is becoming a huge box office hit on both sides of the Pacific. It has already surpassed $1.1 billion worldwide at the box office, making it Nolan's biggest movie ever. And here in Korea, getting a ticket, especially an IMAX ticket, has become quite the challenge. Some screenings are selling out quickly, and people are traveling to other cities just to find seats, and some tickets are even being resold online at much higher prices. What's driving all this excitement over a story that is, nearly 3,000 years old? Well, today we're going to take a closer look at the buzz around The Odyssey and what makes this ancient story so irresistible to modern audiences. Joining us today is Professor Joel Christensen, who's the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Professor of Classics at the Graduate Center at the City University of New York. Hi, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Good morning.
Yes, for our listeners and viewers who may not know the story that well, maybe you can give us a quick overview of a very, very long work, The Odyssey.
Sure, I'll do my best to keep it short. So
Okay.
the Odyssey in its original form was sung in performance. It's now 24 books, about 12,000 lines, and it tells the story of a man named Odysseus who goes to war to fight the Trojan War. And that lasts 10 years, and then it takes him another 10 years to come home. So the first half of the Odyssey is the story of how he gets home to Ithaca, where his wife Penelope and his son Telemachus have been suffering the ravages of suitors who've been in the household for 3 years at that point. Books 9 through 12, he tells his own story of his sufferings on his way home. And then books 13 through 24 is a story of him sneaking into his house in disguise, testing people in his household, eventually murdering all the suitors who are in his home, reuniting with his son, his wife, his father Laertes, and reuniting with his people as king at the end. So that's pretty much the plot of the poem.
Yes.
To get people sort of situated for it.
Right. And Odysseus takes, 20 years to finally return home after leaving for the Trojan War. So if you can explain what took him so long to get back. I mean, I know it was ages ago, but still. And what happened to him during those 20 years?
Well, the war itself takes 10 years, in part because in the tradition, the city of Troy had divinely built walls. And after the end of the siege, the story is that the Greeks went to excess in sacking the city. They transgressed basic divine laws and laws of humans as well, and they were sort of cursed on the way home. Odysseus himself takes 10 years because first he and his men go wandering, they get blown astray, and then he blinds the son of the sea god Poseidon, Cyclops Polyphemus, which curses him along the way. Before he's released and allowed to make his way home again. So it's basically 3 years of troubles and then 7 years on the island of the goddess Calypso.
Wow. So, this story touches on so many universal themes, whether it be love, loyalty, temptation, courage, and of course, that desire to go back home. And which themes do you think are the most important or the most relevant at the heart of this story?
So I think that the themes that have made it sort of stand the test of time and that keep people coming back to it are really twofold. One is about identity, and the other is about the power of storytelling. And the two are really entwined. The Odyssey works in part with its companion epic, the Iliad. And the Iliad is it's about war, it's about violence, it's about death. The Odyssey, on the other hand, is about survival and what it costs to survive and what it means to go home after you've been gone for so long. And so the story it tells that's really powerful is that your identity doesn't come from yourself. It comes from the people who recognize you for who you are. So Odysseus's journey home can't be just complete when he gets on the island of Ithaca. Instead, he has to be reunited with the people who confirm his identity, a mother figure, his wife, his father, his son, and his people. And so I think over time, this is a question that's always attending us. How do we know who we are? How do we know who other people are? And what does it mean to be the same person over time? And the second part of it that's really connected to that, but important for literature as well, is the power of storytelling. Odysseus makes his way home through the stories he tells. First, by sort of reconfiguring who he was and how he got home when he tells his own story, and he tries to figure out what happened along the way. And then when he gets home, he's actually a chronic liar. He's constantly respinning his tale and lying about who he is in order to effect his own homecoming. And so the story of the Odyssey is also about the pleasures of storytelling, but also the dangers, how they can distract us of who we are and how they can change the way we view other people. And Odysseus as himself is a test case in how you can use stories to manipulate the people around you and get what you want. But also it's a narrative of what the damages are when you wield that kind of power.
Right. And I have to say, the Odyssey has been retold, reimagined for thousands of years. And I do remember, it was kind of like mandatory reading back in high school. And it was kind of forced down our throats. But why do you think people come back to the story time and time again?
Well, I think there are a couple different reasons. And I think actually what's amazing about the epic is that it can change in your lifetime, right? The core of the Odyssey is a legendary tale of travels and monsters. And it sort of gets that need for adventure, right? The killing of the Cyclops, the sirens, all those famous parts. But beyond that, is a deeper story, that yearning for figuring out who we are in the world and making some sense of like the math between what we do and what we get out of reality. I think that people get drawn into the Odyssey again and again, though, because it speaks to you at different stages in life. When I was much younger, before I had kids and a family of my own, it didn't resonate with me in the same way. Like you, I read it in high school and I thought, well, what's this for? But I had the privilege of teaching the Odyssey repeatedly in a period when I lost my own father suddenly, when he was only 60. My wife and I had 2 children in a 2-year period. And I realized that the Odyssey is really a map for life because it helps you understand that your identity, that your place in the world, that the way you see yourself and your community shifts based on the roles that you play in it. And so I think that mixture of identity, of mapping out life roles, and of giving some hope for life after war, that things will continue no matter how bad they are, draws people into the Odyssey over and over again.
Okay, so our next question is very important, and it's not on our set of questions, but our producer plus our listeners want to know, in your opinion, Professor, who was Odysseus' true love, Penelope or Calypso?
Oh, definitely Penelope. Look, Calypso offers immortality and he says, no, I can't do that. Right. But again, I think one of the fascinating things about the way the Odyssey has changed over time in interpretation is the question you just asked, because the idea of romance in ancient Greece is very different. I mean, if Penelope and Odysseus got married, it was probably an arranged marriage. She was a teenager and he was 30 years old. So it doesn't really have like our equivalent of romance. But I think what's powerful about the narrative is how it can be reshaped and how now, whether you're talking about, the online phenomenon of Epic the Musical, Pasolini's The Return from 2 years ago, or Nolan's movie, is the way that we read romance into it. So it's definitely Penelope because he had his options with Calypso and Circe, and he went home.
Right. And with Nolan's latest work, this ancient epic, he's brought it to the big screen, obviously captivating, even the younger generation on this massive scale. So what do you think the movie captures well about the spirit of Homer's original work, the original poem?
So I think there are 2 things about it that people may miss if they don't know the Odyssey really well. One is that Nolan's done a really good job of positioning the Odyssey at the end of an era. If you listen to it, it talks about the Sea Peoples, the end of the Bronze Age. And this was true for Homer's Odyssey as well, because it's set up at the end of the race of heroes. After the Odyssey, there's no more Trojan War, there's no more gods with men, there are no more heroes born. It's the end of a period. And I think what Nolan cleverly did is he saw that we have our own anxieties about the end of an era, whether it's climate change apocalypse, AI, political divisiveness. He really tapped into our sense of being at the end of things. The second thing that I think he did really well is that the Odyssey is a story within stories. It's a ring structure. It has 2 or 3 different narratives going on at once, and that are brought together at the end. And Nolan's movie does a great job of doing the same thing and bringing all audience members into the tale, regardless of whether or not they know a lot to begin with.
Yes, indeed. And finally, in an age where we can experience the classics, whether it be through movies, comics, or countless other forms, why should people still consider reading the original? Obviously not the original, but like a very good translated version of the original.
Well, I'll first say you can read the original. You just have to spend a little time learning ancient Greek. But why should they engage with it? Look, there is something powerfully comforting about delving into the mists of time and finding out that other human beings had some of the same anxieties, passions, and concerns that we do. One of the things that I've had a pleasure of in my life is returning to Homer in Greek after 9/11 when I lived in New York, after my dad died over the past decade or so. It gives you this deep sense of belonging in the arc of time. that we are not aberrations, that even though there are differences culturally, we have these common things we care about. We want to belong, we want to have agency, and we want to have control over our own stories. So I really think that being able to go back to ancient stories of every culture is a great gift because it can help us understand the immediacy and the continuity of the human condition.
Well, thank you so much for unfolding the meaning behind this story. For our listeners or viewers, thank you so much, and thanks for joining us today, Professor.
Thanks for having me. I hope you have a great day.
You too as well. Everybody, this was Professor Joel Christensen talking about, of course, the latest iteration of the Odyssey. But of course, that is just one person's very visionary take on this old classic. This was your special interview. I'll be back with your updated traffic and weather. Here's your updated traffic report. There are a bunch of accidents out there. First up on the Namhae Expressway coming toward Busan. Right by the Chukdong ramp, there's an accident. There's another accident on Gayadero toward Nakdong Bridge at the entrance of the bridge. An accident on Luno Samsungdero from Myeongji ramp to Myeongji Dongjin underpass, right past the Myeongho-gyo Bridge. And lastly, another accident on Suyeong Gangbyeon-dero from Seokdae Overpass to Panyeo Agricultural Market intersection on that overpass. So please leave a little earlier than usual and let's be extra careful today. It is currently raining here in Busan. It's 25 degrees Celsius. It's going to go up to 30. Busan City is under a heat wave impact forecast. In other parts of the country, like I said, raining in parts of Busan, also Gyeongnam and Jeonnam across the morning, with showers forecast for Gyeonggi, Gangwon, and Chungcheong in the afternoon. Landslide alerts in Dongyong and other parts of Gyeongnam as well as Jeonnam. This was your traffic and weather. Time for Waggle Waggle Tea Time. Haley's back.
Hi.
Yes. So
ask me how my weekend was.
Oh yeah, how was your weekend? What'd you do?
So expensive. It was
tell us the tale.
Well, first of all, happy birthday, Dad. So it's 70th birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he old.
Haley.
Because I'm getting older. Well,
아니,
whatever.
아버님 생신 축하드립니다.
생신 축하드립니다.
네네네.
제가 보내드렸잖아요.
네네.
Well, first of all, the whole 보내드렸잖아요. Because we do monetary gifts. And if it's like a milestone birthday, it's a little bit extra.
A little extra?
It's a little extra. And then we had a party. We rented a pool, like private pooled villa. Because again, my dad's old, gotta celebrate. I love my family. I jest.
Okay.
But then that's also, and then I lost my phone. You guys, I was sober.
And the thing is
I could have driven. I parked. I was sober.
But I have to say, like Haley and I, we keep our devices for a really long time.
We
I think
are
it was like
frugal
5
people.
years.
Yeah, 5 years
and then
5 going on 6. Yeah. And then it was time to change, but it just disappeared, and then I had to go buy a new one. So yeah, I have a new phone now.
Yay!
New phone.
Blessing in disguise.
I guess so.
Leave it at that. Okay. Well, we got to talk about this. The divorce of the century in South Korea, dun dun dun, got another twist because SK chairman Chae Tae-won appealed the court's divorce ruling.
Gotta say though, this puts things into perspective. Speaking of things that are expensive and how expensive things can actually be. All right, seriously.
Okay, here we go.
So, Chae Tae-won, SK chairman, filed for an appeals to the Seoul High Court against the court's previous ruling for him to pay his ex-wife, No So-young, 944 billion won in property or asset division. So that ruling made this divorce the most expensive one in the country's history.
Yes.
So according to his legal counsel's statement, Chairman Che filed for the appeals after considering multiple facets and will enter the future proceedings in order to minimize the negative effects on the shareholders and business management.
Okay, well, big question. What is going to happen now?
Well, now it goes back up to the Supreme Court. And this is, again, the second time that the Supreme Court will handle the case because a bit of recap, back in October of last year, the Supreme Court ruled that the lower courts will review the property division, and that resulted in the ruling last month by the Seoul High Court to make that 944 billion won ruling.
Yes.
By the way, in Korea and many countries, but in Korea too, the Supreme Court does not rule on the facts of the case, but whether the lower courts misinterpreted or rightfully interpreted the legal principle. So this is called 법률심. So it seems this will be an argument about the legality. Che's attorneys will argue that there was a legal misinterpretation in the asset division, especially regarding the percentage that was given to his ex-wife, No So-young, and or how the court came to this decision on the figure of 944 billion won.
Yes, but this is a second time he's appealing the case. So will it make that much of a difference?
Right, that's a big question. And a lot of the experts are saying they don't think so because it is, again, the same two courts, Seoul High Court and the Supreme Court. What are the chances of the Supreme Court going back on its decision when there hasn't been like a smoking gun evidence that's been found?
Right. What's the motivation behind this appeal? Because people are wondering, like, then why?
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure he's paying a lot of money for legal fees and attorney fees too. So some pundits are saying that this is maybe to buy time and avoid paying the interest. Number one, he has to come up with the 944 billion won in cash.
Yes.
Apparently, Che's side offered No's side to pay some of the settlement in company shares, but her side refused. So it's going to take time to find that cash. Number two, had he accepted the ruling, and then that would have started the clock on August 15th, where he would have needed to pay a 5% interest on the asset annually until the amount was paid in full. 5% interest on 944 billion won, that equals 1억 3천만 원 per day. 130 million won per day. But because he's appealed the case, that stops the clock.
Interesting. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay. So while we're on the topic of divorce and asset management, sorry, we have to talk about a marriage. The details of football star Cristiano Ronaldo, his prenup, because, he needs a prenup.
I have a question. Just generally, are you for or against? I'm not asking about your particular marriage, but are you for or against a prenup?
I don't know. It seems so unromantic. However, the divorce rate is quite high around the world. I think it's realistic.
I think you gotta protect your assets. I mean, I don't have assets, but I think I've got to protect. I got to protect my new phone, you guys.
Do you have insurance on it?
For 3 months, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
And the guy was like, "Don't lose it again." I'm like,
okay.
Anyways, Portuguese superstar, global superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo. He married his longtime girlfriend, Georgina Rodriguez. And now we have reports about their prenuptial agreement, which was apparently signed one day before the wedding on August 11th. The wedding was fairly low-key. It reportedly states that Ronaldo and Georgina will keep their premarital assets separate. So he keeps the money that he's made thus far, and that will apply even if they get divorced.
Yes.
And reported terms of ownership of his Madrid home in the La Finca area, along with a lifetime monthly payment of about 85,900 euros or 164 million won monthly. That'll be given to her. Of course, this draws attention because, he is rich.
Isn't he near billionaire status, right? Right?
Well, we don't know his full assets, but Forbes estimates his 2026 earnings. So 1 year of earnings at $275 million from his just Al Nasser salary and endorsement deals. Who knows with, his other investments and real estate. So, the man's protecting his assets.
Sign away.
Sign away.
Yes. All right. Moving on. Here is an interesting fact. You can get fined, like have to pay a penalty for waking up. Is this true? A sleeping polar bear.
Yeah, well, there's a saying like don't poke a sleeping bear for
right.
many reasons because, polar bears can rip you apart, but also this will cost you. So all the more reasons. Okay, so a person in Norway, Svalbard, in the archipelago in the Arctic, has been fined 50,000 kroner. That's about $6,770. So like almost, in this currency, like at least 800만 원 on a good day.
Right.
For using a foghorn, that's the to wake up a sleeping polar bear.
Oh, can we get that? That's the foghorn people.
In case you didn't
this is
know.
wagger wagger.
Now you
So,
do.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is unserious.
Yes.
So the incident took place in August. This vessel, it was a ship that was sailing in a fjord in northeastern Svalbard, about 1,000 kilometers away from the North Pole.
Okay.
The occupants, the people who were on the ship, apparently spotted a polar bear sleeping on land, and this is according to the territory's governor's statement. Then this person used a foghorn to wake up the animal. The animal moved to another location.
Was there fog?
I don't think so, because they could see the polar bear and polar bear white, iceberg white. So,
right.
So there's a law. Because
Okay.
polar bears are an endangered species, and we shouldn't disturb animals anyways, but it is forbidden to needlessly disturb, attract, or pursue a polar bear, and they've been a protected species since the 70s. So here we go. Now we know.
I feel so guilty. Because
Do
I
you do
needlessly
this?
disturb, attract, and pursue my cats, my rabbit to no end. Like every time I get them, I'm like, I gotta squeeze them. Sorry.
Pay a fine.
Yeah.
Give them a treat.
All right.
Yeah.
The judo, whatever it's called. Yes.
Judo.
I can't remember.
You gotta
Judo.
figure that out, man.
Okay. Judo. All right. Final story is about another museum theft. What is
This
going
is
on?
apparently a regular installment on Wagger Wagger for Renaissance paintings. I know, my favorite era of extraordinary value have been stolen from a museum in Sicily, Italy. So according to the Italian Culture Ministry, they've confirmed that 3 panels of the Polytech of San Gregorio and a double-sided panel, it's the Madonna with Child and Christ in Pietà, all attributed to the artist Antonio de Messina, were taken from the Regional Interdisciplinary Museum of Messina Saturday night local time.
At this point, it's almost like deja vu. But again, same question as always. How did it happen?
Because don't you people have security?
Right.
Right. Well, the police are trying to figure that out. And because the thieves are able to enter the museum at night without triggering the alarm. And they're also trying to figure out how many thieves were there.
Yes.
Investigators are working on the initial suspicion that the paintings were stolen to order by black market art thieves. It's been reported that the Madonna and the Christ in Pietà, they were removed directly from inside a secure display case. So it wasn't just out in the open. All the other paintings were on wooden panels, and they were basically, because they were on wooden panels, they couldn't have been like rolled up easily and taken out. So maybe this was sort of an elaborate affair. The museum said that they are shocked by what happened, and it is a great loss for the museum and the art world. But it is, again, the latest in the ongoing theme of heist. So a heist is basically theft of an expensive art or properties, or the high-profile, sneaky theft across Europe. And what is behind this? Is there a huge demand? Is there a security issue? I guess we'll have to find out.
But there must be, I'm thinking, like on the black market for private collectors. Like, where do you sell or pawn off like these types of
They're, again,
artwork?
high-profile, so it must be, some billionaires' private yacht or a basement. But then again, if there is one and you have priceless property on your grounds, shouldn't there be extra security?
Shouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
charge
we're
enough.
going to end it on that note. Wagger, of course. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, here is Yo-Ya by 2개월.
창밖엔 서글픈 비만 내려오네 내 마음 너무 안타까워 이제 다시 볼 수가 없기에
촉촉히 빛났지
이밤 너에게 주고픈 노래 너만을 사랑하고 있다는 걸 들어줄 사람도 없이 빗속으로
흩어지네
너의 이름을 불러보지만 다를 수 없다는 걸 알고 있어 긴 밤을 꼬박 세우고 빗속으로
어느새 새벽이 오고 있어 한때는 너를 만나서 행복했어 그런 꿈속에 빠져 있었지만 이런 아픔 느낄 줄 몰랐어
이별을 느낄 때면 난 생각해봐 우리 사랑을 위한 시간인 걸 너는 이런 내 맘을 아는지 이밤 너에게 주고픈 노래 너만을 사랑하고 있다는 걸 들어줄 사람도 없이 빗속으로
흩어지네
너의 이름을 불러보지만 다를 수 없다는 걸 알고 있어 긴 밤을 꼬박 세우고 빗속으로
어느새 새벽이 오고 있어
스타라라라라라라 스타라라라라라라 따라라라라 따라라 이밤 너에게 주고픈 노래 너만을 사랑하고 있다는 걸 들어줄 사람도 없이 빗속으로
흩어지네
너의 이름을 불러보지만 닿을 수 없다는 걸 알고 있어 긴 밤을 꼬박 세우고 빗속으로
어느새 새벽이 오고 있어
나는 나 Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the Trend Whisperer because Han's here, so we're ready. Here we go.
Good
Yay.
morning.
How was your weekend? What did you do?
Oh, it was good. It was pretty well balanced. A little bit of friend time, family time, and
And then something I hate doing. But
So we did a big seasonal clean out of the house.
Ugh.
So in all the nooks and crannies.
Oh, really? Like a deep clean?
Behind all the couches, the windowsills. I dislike it, but it feels good when it's done.
Right, after it's done.
Yeah.
It feels good, I hear. Yes.
Do you do anything to make the cleaning more enjoyable?
Music.
Yes.
To me, music, if the music is not on,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
intolerable.
I need either music or a long, very entertaining podcast.
Oh,
on.
that's
Yeah,
a good one.
yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. You got the cleaning done.
Yes.
You're ready to face fall. We're ready for fall.
Yeah, almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to dive into Whisper. What do you have for us today?
Okay, so Kat, can you try to finish this sentence for me?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of chic too.
Okay, these days.
What would you put after that?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Anything.
Oh, okay. It's kind of chic too.
Be the host of Morning Wave in Busan?
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's kind of chic these days to fall back into reading.
because I've been reading much more.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
text
okay.
tip, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what
So you might have seen this phrase. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of chic too, ...
Okay.
Quite a bit on social media lately.
Mm.
And it's usually written in this very specific pale yellow font over a photo or a video.
Okay,
So you
okay.
might have seen things like kind of chic to repeat outfits or kind of chic to go to places alone. Even kind of chic to wear the same T-shirt for the third day in a row.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it?
so anything
In
apparently can be chic now. Yeah, because if you traditionally think about chic, that's not what it is.
That's like the opposite because
Yeah.
it's like, don't we frown upon people who wear like the same thing 2 or 3 days in a row?
That's
or like
true.
normally, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
especially in this season. So yeah, what chic usually means fashionable, sophisticated, but for this trend,
Yes.
The trend takes something very ordinary,
Right.
imperfect, healthy, awkward, or maybe something you just used to be embarrassed about, like the third day in a row shirt. And it says, you know what? Actually, that's kind of chic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it really though? I don't know.
That is
So-
the joke of the trend.
Okay, that's okay. Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank goodness it's a joke because like I was like I was
That
helping,
one in particular, yeah.
I was helping my husband. He wanted to color his hair, so I was helping him and I was doing his hair. It was a long weekend, and I was like, "Did you take a shower this weekend?" Like normally he's like always very.
Yeah.
He showers like once or sometimes even twice a day. But like this weekend, for whatever reason, he like just let himself go, and I was
Okay.
like, so I guess kind of chic to not.
And before, like, dyeing the hair?
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, you're not supposed to dye your hair according to your hairstylist. Like, it's recommended that you don't wash your hair. But I was
Exactly.
like, I think you're like going a little overkill, right? Like, there's a lot of oil there.
Yeah, so he could have been like, actually, it's kind of chic.
Chic to be oily. Yes.
So earlier versions of this trend were focused on mostly like body positivity, mental health, or
Okay.
general well-being.
Okay.
We have a picture pulled up on our live stream. So this one says, kind of chic to bring a book everywhere.
That is though.
Yeah, it is definitely.
That
these
is not
days.
a joke.
Yeah.
What's this one?
This one is kind of chic to take a picture of every matcha you make.
Oh, and by the way, for our listeners who are not on our NoTube to describe, there are 2 photos that our producer posted to give
Yes.
you a real feel of what the kind of chic with the pale yellow lettering. Love it.
Yeah, and it like kind of takes up the whole photo.
Right.
So, they might be posts about accepting your body or continuing to learn regardless of your age.
Right.
Or, just doing things despite being scared. And this format was already gaining traction earlier in the spring this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's kind of started exploding this summer.
Well, I like it because I think that it can be really positive. Because
Yeah.
you're not dwelling on like the picture perfect kind of like your best photo and like all like
Yeah.
using apps or
Perfectly-
tools to make yourself look perfect,
Exactly.
right?
That seems to be a lot of the mainstream thread of all these trends that we're talking about.
Look at our producer. Kind of chic to get ready to 퇴근 already. It's 8시 39분도 안 된대요, 피디님.
Yo, PD님, you should make a post about this.
Yes.
Yeah,
꼭
it's so
올리세요.
perfect. Yeah,
네네.
because like you said, Catherine, when you
Yes.
think about it, social media has traditionally told us that things that are aspirational is, of course, being thinner,
Right.
travel somewhere expensive,
Right.
have that perfect skin. But this trend kind of chic, it kind of flipped that.
I like it.
So kind of chic to have cellulite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so chic then.
Me too.
Okay.
And kind of chic to, eat that dessert.
Oh, nice.
Or kind of chic to go somewhere by yourself, even though you're nervous. Yeah, I'm actually planning to go to see Odyssey, the movie, by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Are you good at doing things on your own?
I usually am. Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Some people, like my sister, she refuses, even if she's like really, really hungry, she can't eat by herself at a restaurant.
Interesting.
And I'm like, why not?
I once did that to a samgyeopsal restaurant, and I was so happy about it. I actually could really enjoy the flavor of the meat better. I sent a photo of it to my family, and everyone's like, "Are you okay?
Is everything okay?
Is she okay? She's alone. What's going on?"
Right.
Yeah. But so back to kind of chic.
Yes.
It kind of takes something you might normally apologize for, and people get to like claim it proudly.
I like it.
Yeah. So celebrities are hopping on this trend too.
Do we have any examples?
We do. So
Is that Drew Barrymore?
That is Drew Barrymore on our
Love
live
her.
stream.
Uh-huh.
So she did a version saying that it's kind of chic to be in your 50s.
Uh-huh.
And this one that you're seeing right now is
Right.
it's kind of chic to feel everything so deeply.
Ooh.
I love how real she is.
I do too. She's
Yeah.
so unfiltered.
She has a talk show.
In a good way.
In
Yeah.
a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And model Ashley Graham used
Mhm.
this format to celebrate the fact that cellulite never
Uh-huh.
stopped her.
Yes.
And actress Reese Witherspoon posted about how chic it is to support other women.
I like that.
Yeah.
Especially, and like Ashley Graham, for those of you who may not know,
Mm.
she's called a so-called, in quotes, a plus model. She's just a beautiful woman.
She is.
Right. And
Yeah.
like, to pigeonhole her into like a category saying,
That's true.
oh, you are not a model, but a plus model.
Plus-size model, yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, because she's really breaking boundaries.
Right.
and,
She's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we all have cellulite, even skinny people.
Definitely.
Yes.
We're so chic. So, expanding this idea of chic from, oh, you look fabulous to you have healthy emotional boundaries.
I like.
Which is something I really love. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I like that it's also phrased in a way it's kinda chic.
Right.
So it's a little playful, a little ironic. And it's almost like saying, hear me out. Maybe this thing that we thought was uncool is actually cool.
I like.
And culturally, that's very in right now. The things that were embarrassing becoming cool and desirable.
Like.
Like, we've talked about this, dad sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, fashion and bird watching.
Make it cool.
Very cool.
Okay.
And old-fashioned hobbies are cool again.
Yes.
So, but the thing is, I feel like once everyone starts saying, kind of chic too, this
it
and
still
that.
chic then?
Exactly. That's
Right?
the other side of the trend because social media can spark something new and refreshing and then immediately kind of ruins it.
Because it's like overkill, maybe?
I think so, yeah. So searches for this term has surged dramatically and it's everywhere now. So kind of chic to have a trip booked. Kind of chic to, drink matcha, all that, this and that. And then eventually okay, is anything chic now? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is anything not chic?
Exactly.
If you kind of get into that mindset. Everything is chic.
Yeah, especially when brands pick it up and start using it for ads.
I don't like when brands do that.
I know.
Just
yeah.
leave the original ideas alone.
It always happens.
Right.
So one airline recently, basically they did this advertisement saying that it's kind of chic to book another flight even when you have no vacation days left.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just book it, make it chic. So yeah, once your aunties and uncles has seen it and a corporation has posted it, maybe it's no longer chic.
It's unchic. It has come and gone.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is where kind of chic becomes more interesting to me than just another cute caption.
Okay.
Fashion editor Brenda Weischer called this kind of thing a template slop.
Oh.
So basically, somebody finds a successful format like this trend, and then everybody starts copying it, brands copy everybody, and then suddenly your whole social media feed, it starts to feel like one person is running like a million accounts.
It's all the same.
That happens sometimes.
Right.
And it's a little surreal.
Right.
So we end up in a situation where social media is supposed to be about personal expression, but everyone's expressing themselves in the same font, same wording, same format.
And I think there's something really ironic about that.
Yeah. And this actually connects to something fashion culture has been wrestling with for years. So you know about all the core trends, right?
Oh, yeah, Deng core.
The cottage core, the norm core. We talked about dad core. And Vogue magazine wrote years ago about how core became shorthand for basically any aesthetic imaginable and how just constantly naming these micro trends could make them feel disposable. Just right away, yeah. So kind of chic feels like the next stage of it, but it's like we don't even need to invent a new aesthetic anymore.
So here's a question then. Has the word chic itself basically almost lost its meaning?
I wonder. I think we're getting there with this trend.
Okay.
But maybe that's partly why the trend works too. If everything can be chic, then chic no longer means expensive, elegant, or fashionable. So to me, I interpret it it more as I personally approve of this. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's one might say that there's something democratic about that. So you don't need permission from a fancy magazine. It doesn't have to be a designer outfit.
Yes.
I thought of this one recently.
Okay. How about?
It's kind of chic to eat 컵라면 noodles standing over the kitchen sink. I've been doing a lot of eating over the kitchen sink these days.
Is there a particular reason?
Well, because of my puppy too.
Right.
But also, it just makes the cleaning a lot easier.
Because you're eating directly over the sink.
Yeah, it's maybe one or two less bowls to wash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I hear that you brought your own kind of chic post.
I did.
Okay, I'm so
yes.
excited.
Okay, my first one. So this is a photo of me boiling my dishcloth in the kitchen.
For real?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do in the kitchen. So it's kind of chic to boil my dishcloth.
Wow. So you don't just use a washing machine, you boil them.
With a dishcloth, especially, I like it. I like to watch it It's
boil.
a little creepy. I like to watch it boil, and then when it's
For how long?
out, oh, it takes maybe like 2 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's like less
약간
than
옛날 스타일이에요.
an
행주
egg.
삶기.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
All right.
else?
Next one. Kind of chic to roll in with my furry homies.
I love that one. I love
Those are my two pups.
Aww.
Yeah. I used to think that, that's nerdy to kind of go around with your two puppies, but I'm that person now. And kind of chic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The next one is,
What is
kind of
this?
chic to wear a silly wig and flaunt it.
Love it. Look at that look on your face.
That's me
That's
on
so chic.
All-Star English.
Yes.
With the wig.
Love it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And last one is kind of chic to be besties with my oma.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
adorable. Love it.
Thank you.
I love
That was
that.
fun making it. So, listeners, waivers, you too, if you feel like it.
Right.
Make a post.
That's actually looks like a lot of fun.
It was fun kind of going through it. Yeah. All right. So, final take, or let's talk a little bit more about it. So I think what I love about this trend is you get to decide what's worth celebrating. Yeah. So, it's not always about, looking impressive. Maybe it's just taking care of your own skin.
Right.
Doing something alone or being comfortable in a body that doesn't look like the ones traditionally celebrated in fashion.
Absolutely.
And I think this trend, kind of chic, is both sweet and annoying.
Okay.
Which may make it the perfect social media trend. And at its best, it takes little things we're embarrassed about and says, own it. Make it your own. Own it. But at its worst, it shows exactly what happens when, algorithms get a hold of a good idea, people copying a genuinely personal good idea, and then an airline uses it to sell a ticket. So maybe my final contribution can be this.
What?
Kind of chic to enjoy a trend without turning your entire personality into it.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Take it with a grain of salt and enjoy it, but it's not all about that either.
Don't take it too seriously.
No. Well, it's definitely a trend that I think people can try on their own.
Yeah, it's a fun way to kind of
It's a
reflect
doable
on your
one.
recent life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Wishing you a beautiful Tuesday. We're almost to Friday, like you said, but kind of not.
Yeah, it's a state of mind. If you think that way, it'll go faster.
All right. Well, we'll check in with you next week. Thank you, Han.
All right, bye.
Everybody, this was the Trend Whisperer. It's time to wrap up our Tuesday morning. I know it feels like a Monday, but hey, at least it's Tuesday. So here's our final song. This is Gravity by John Mayer. Have a beautiful Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Gravity is working against me. Gravity wants to bring me down. never know what makes us mad. With all the love that his heart can stand, dream of ways to throw it all away. Oh, gravity is working against me now. And gravity, oh, it wants to bring me down. Oh, twice as much ain't twice as good, and can't sustain like a one half could. It's wanting more, gonna send me to my knees.